fracture, but it's his index finger in his throwing hand, hairline fracture. Can't feel great. He came out with tape on it, and he finally just chucked the tape in the first quarter and said, nope, I'm not going to do it. He also got his left wrist hurt. So he was on the injury report. I told you this on Friday all week. Left wrist and index finger. It is fractured.
He got a frog hair fracture in his index finger.
Okay.
People didn't even know frogs had hair, Jenny.
Yeah.
That's how fine the fracture it is. Stop this notion,
Ever tried
Skip.
to throw a football with that?
Stop. No. We're not going to do this.
Think that felt
we're not going to, Skip. We're not going to do
Yes,
this.
we're going to do it.
We're not going to do
because
that.
it's a dead solid fact.
No.
My quarterback, as usual, gutted it up, sucked it up, and inspired the whole football team by going out there and playing his tail off. And by the way, if we could just look at the comparisons here, my quarterback was obviously taken in the 4th round, 134 picks in the same draft after the Rams traded up to number 1 in the draft to take Jared Goff. Okay. So 134 picks later, they got a quarterback who has met Jared Goff head-to-head 3 times now. And what did I tell you Friday?
What's the record?
What has happened? Here are the QBRs for these 3 games. It's my turn, I think. The QBRs are, my quarterback went 81, 84, and yesterday 84 again. Jared Goff in the 3 games went 46, 57, and yesterday 37. So yesterday it was 84 to 37. The 3-game average is 83 for my quarterback, 47 for Jared Goff. My quarterback has almost doubled Jared Goff in QBR 3 times.
What is the
outplayed him dramatically? I don't care. I don't care.
Oh, you so
I'm just talking about. I told you the essence of this game is my quarterback.
Winning and losing.
You know, 84 is a really good QBR.
Essence is winning and losing, Skip. Professional sports. It's about wins and losses.
No,
all these numbers are all. Hold on. Wait a minute.
If my defense allows 273 rush yards, they're going to lose. Okay. And if my defense blows a halftime lead in the 2017 game, yeah, they're going to lose. But this was not my defense hung in there the whole game.
Hold on. Time out.
Thank you.
Hold on. Just a second, please. Bear with me. Now you keep complaining about your defense gave up 273 last year, and they lost the game. Jared Goff's defense gave up 263. But you're blaming this on Jared Goff. You didn't put none of that on Dak Prescott last year.
Sorry. His body language is sorry. He's uninspirational. He's not a leader. My quarterback, you could see from the first play of the game when he actually was allowed to run the football and set the tone. What set the tone for the whole game? What did you see Clay Matthews doing the whole game? He was guarding against the zone read keeper. He just kept playing outside. He's going to keep it. He's going to keep it because the first play of the game, my quarterback, as I pounded this desk to do, kept the football for 7 yards, and here we went. They didn't let him run with it much more the rest of the game, but he can gash you because he is a playmaker. And that Tavon Austin play where he dodged Dante Fowler, it's hard to get my quarterback on the ground. It's why you couldn't sack him yesterday. And that brings me to Zeke. Again, Zeke had his breakout game of the year. I told you, he willed himself through no holes in the defense. He carried the pile just by sheer leg drive, body lean, and I loved it. But you want to talk about thunder and all of a sudden lightning? The guy you called Mike Pollard back in camp is extraordinary. He's got a huge burst that Zeke doesn't have. And all of a sudden, we've got as good a 1-2 punch as anybody in this league has outside of Lamar and Ingram and Baltimore.
But Skip, Zeke has never shown that burst in the NFL like you thought that he had in Ohio State.
Okay. Well, I saw it his rookie year a lot. And I saw it a little bit yesterday. If you can get him completely open in the open field, he caught 3 balls for, 43 yards, and he had 126-yard catch and run, which is good. That's the only way you can get him loose because he can't make you miss at the line of scrimmage like Tony Pollard can.
They're different runners.
Tony Pollard's really good.
Yeah, he's should. But let me ask you a question. Do you believe Tony Pollard, okay, you lost Zeke. You believe Tony Pollard could carry the load?
No, I told you this is the best 1-2. He's a great 2. He's the lightning to the thunder. You need the thunder. Everybody needs the thunder. Tom Brady, we're going to talk about him in a little bit. He needed some thunder yesterday to try to get them back on track. Nobody can do it all alone with no run game.
And guess what? The Saints are finding that out. Without Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara hasn't been nearly as effective as he was with Mark Ingram in the lineup. But Skip, if you're gonna tell me if the Dallas Cowboys are gonna go for 400+ yards, what do they have? 475 total yards, 263 rushing. They were 54% on 3rd down, 1 for 1 on 4th down. 36 minutes time of possession. Yes, if you're gonna tell me they're gonna give me that every game, they will win the Super Bowl.
Well, they got a shot. I give them a good shot, actually.
Yeah. It is flu season. That's the only shot they get.
Took off yesterday.
Whatever.
Right on schedule. So the other stat that was interesting from the broadcast, and I had not locked in on this one.
What?
My Dallas Cowboys are at the very bottom of the NFL in field position, where they have started their drives from. So that helped explain to me, I had not fixated on that stat, but that helped explain why they're #1 in yards gained in the whole league, but they had fallen to 9th in points scored. Well, that's in large part because the defense is so bad, they keep getting punted into jail. So if you start for your 3-yard line, it's hard to go score. You might get a bunch of yards. You might get 60 yards in that drive, and it'll add to your big total for the year.
Things,
but you can't score because after a while, if you keep going 3rd and 5, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, one of those you're going to misfire and you're not going to make the first down. So what happened yesterday? They get pushed back to their 13-yard line in the first drive, terrible as usual, and they had to punt. Second time, they get pushed back to their 10-yard line, and here came the Dak attack. 90 yards in 15 plays. And then here came the Rams against my defense, and it didn't look very good in the first drive of the Rams. And this has been the MO of the whole year. The rival goes right down and scores, the opposition. So it's 7-7. This is where my offense has gone cold at this point. Instead,
against Buffalo.
Against everybody. Name it. It's always like this. We saw
Chicago.
Chicago, same one. 7-0, then 7-7, and then cold, and then 14-7, 21-7, rival team, right? So in this case, instead of going cold on the next drive, my quarterback made the play of the game to me that turned the tide in the game. He avoided the sack of Dante Fowler and made a cross-field throw to Tavon, who obviously the Rams ran together, and he was wide open. In fact, I saw a stat. He was the most open receiver this whole year in the NFL. I think it was 17 yards of separation. And that flipped their switch somehow.
That broke the game open.
It broke the game open because the next Cowboy drive, started at the 3-yard line, and it goes 97 yards in 14 plays for the 21-7 touchdown, which ignited all that high-fiving up in Jerry's box because that pretty much drove the final nail in that coffin. And on that drive, guess what? It was actually a second stringer's drive because guess who made the 2 big catches on the drive? Shannon Jarwin. Blake Jarwin. He made 2. They get stuck at 3rd and 4 from their own 9-yard line. It's a pretty key down. This is the one they've been missing all year.
Skip, he's explosive.
And he hit him for 20 yards because Dak calls him maybe the best athlete on the team.
Skip, if you just watch the way he catches the ball and the way he maneuvers, I mean, he's catching what we call drag routes, which is 2 yards, and he's getting 8. He's getting 12, 14 yards. That's what...
Jason Witten can't do that. Jason Witten made an unbelievable one-hand snag. He just doesn't do that. But in general, to your point, he's going to catch 3-yard passes, and it's going to go nowhere else.
It's going to be 3 yards.
It's 3 yards. But Blake Jarwin, when he catches one up the boundary, he gets loose.
And because the thing is, Skip, he gets so much separation to begin with.
He does.
So he's able to catch the ball and turn and run. Because Jason can't get that separation anymore, wherever he catches it, now he's really sure-handed, but wherever he catches it, that's where he's going to be.
And then he had another 20-yard catch in that drive. And then the backup, Tony Pollard, comes in and gets loose for 25 yards. So you're doing it with the second-string guys. And finally, it gets down to a 4th and 1. Dak sneaks. And then they gave it to Zeke 3 straight times for 3 yards, 1 yard, 1 yard, touchdown, 21-7, basically game over. So what if I told you going into this game that my 3 starting receivers would each catch 1 ball for not very much yards? What if I told you Amari, Gallup, and Randall Cobb each caught 1 ball in this game? Because that's all they caught was 1 ball. What would you have told me?
Well, I wasn't going to be surprised because you knew Jalen Ramsey was going to shadow Coop.
So that took him out of the game, basically. He did catch 1 ball in the first drive. That was impressive, and it was just because Dak got outside the pocket and fired it over the middle, and he just sat down like in a broken route. Okay, so that was it. That was his whole contribution for the whole day. And yet, it didn't matter because Blake Jarwin contributed.
Yep.
Jason Witten contributed. Zeke caught 3 passes.
Right.
So they mixed it up, and obviously between Zeke and Tony Pollard, they dominated the clock. And it was the first time all year that they dominated time of possession.
They didn't really need to catch anything.
Okay.
If you let
you got to catch some.
But Skip, if you let a team run the ball like this and can control the clock like they did, you're gonna lose.
Okay.
I mean, you give up 263 and you carry the ball for 22 yards. Man,
You're gonna lose.
You're losing.
So
you losing.
My final point is the man you have occasionally called, often called, the best player in all of football is Aaron Donald.
Yep.
And every time he plays against Dallas, it's been 4 total times, but 3 times against Dak's team, I just can't find him in the game. And
what did he do yesterday?
He did not much yesterday. So he had 3 total tackles. 1 was a solo tackle, and he had no sacks. So in 4 games against the Dallas Cowboys in his career, he has 8 total tackles and 0 sacks, and he has hit the quarterback only 2 times, and both came in that 2017 game at Jerry World. So that's it. So in 3 of 4 games, he has not touched the quarterback. And I can't see him. I get it.
They do a number. They do a very good job.
They do a job on him. Because 99, like I have always told you, number 56 was Lawrence Taylor. And every game I ever watched Lawrence Taylor, I said, wow, they can't block him. 3 guys can't keep him from the quarterback.
But see, that's why when we have the discussion about best player, that's why when we talk about LT, we set LT to a side by himself. We don't put nobody in that category because he deserves to be by himself.
No, I got it. But 99 for the Rams, I just don't see enough of it.
Yeah. Well, that was a game that, he needed to show yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have more Cowboys to break down later in the show, but first we got to talk about the Patriots. Are they in hot water after new video came out yesterday? That is next, and don't forget you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports Channel on SiriusXM. We'll be right back.